something new is in the process of entering your life. Okay? You weren't expecting this. And it's sort of there. It's just there now. It's developing. When I say developing, it's giving me that imagery of a photographer's spool in a dark room where he's working with something. Dark rooms tend to have a very quiet atmosphere. And the coloring is different. Just the room, the actual room, the way it's set up, the coloring is different to an ordinary room. It does feel like quite a sacred process to be in a dark room. That's where the photographer is able to really sense into the timing and connect with each photograph, okay, as it changes. I saw that on 555 on the clock. So this is developing this thing that you are working on. The number of cards that I have in front of me, I mean, God knows how I'm going to fit this onto the screen, okay? This is telling me that this has been in your thoughts for some time. I'm not sure whether it's in your conscious awareness how much confusion that this is bringing in. I'm not saying it's confusing everything. I mean that it's put your thoughts under pressure in the sense of, should I pursue this? If I am to pursue this, how do I pursue this? That kind of thing. When in fact, what's happening is that this thing is actually pursuing you. Okay, that's how it's just entered into your life. That's how it's just begun to develop. You keep thinking it's just fleeting, that it's just coming, it's brief, there's not much more to it. But just as you think it's a wrap, more develops. Something that I believe is worth noting is that I laid all these cards out before I started recording. And as soon as I pressed record, it became clear that this offering, this idea, this project, this endeavor, this thing, this opportunity that is developing in your life, okay, it's developing through you, it's developing through your experience. It is a big deal. It is a bigger deal than how it has presented itself. Spirit is actually saying to me to relay to you that the way that it has developed in your life and the way that it has already moved you, shifted you. In other words, the impact that it has had on your life already is what you are going to struggle to keep to yourself. Okay. I am struggling already to figure out what exactly is the reason you have had some kind of resistance in releasing this. Okay. It could be some masculine aspects, like the hows. Yeah, this is definitely taking me back to a video that I recorded a few weeks ago. The video is titled, why, what, when, how, who, something like that. And it's very much around the masculine aspects of either creating a container or how to produce something or whether anyone would care, that kind of thing. My videos are timeless. And so even though that may have applied to something else then, if it's coming up now, it will probably be of great value in terms of this topic we're talking about here. Okay. I'm also experiencing, as I'm talking about this now, in my left ear, a shift in frequency. Okay. And what it's telling me is you are very much in receiving mode. Okay. You are receiving. This thing wants you to create space in order for you to receive. In order for you to receive this, a lot of your understandings around your current container, your current structure, you need some flexibility there. And not just that, actually, because in your advice, I have the devil and I have the Chariot. And given that in your near future, I have the 4 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles, which add up to a 9, okay? They're actually showing me that 9 in your near future, coupled with the 9 of Pentacles at the top of mind, at the top, okay? This is going to start to interfere with your creative process, trying to hold this back. They're saying that your current structure actually can accommodate this. You are more free than you are telling yourself right now, okay? The constraints that you are imposing on, this is not even something I'd call a shift. It's just something different. You've placed an expectation on yourself to continue in the same way because the way that you are working, is what they're saying. And you really value your freedom. Okay, I see that here in the thing that you fear the most and want the most. You don't want to burden yourself, impose a burden on yourself that doesn't allow you room for change. Okay, but you also want to allow room for change in order to relieve and release this current burden you're feeling. Something very beautiful is starting to feel burdensome. And they're saying, have a look there in terms of where you're imposing ideas, constraints, where there needn't be any. Okay? And they're also saying with the Devil and the Chariot, they're saying, there's a lot of beauty. The beauty of this thing is in the disruption, is in the confusion. That's what they're actually saying. It is in the doubt, okay? In the sense that they're saying this doubt that you're sensing around this idea, around this offering, which is a huge offering, I must say. It is a huge offering. It's very close to your heart. I see that in the Ace of Cups. I see that in the 9 of Cups. And I almost said the 9 of Hearts. It's just, it's really moved your heart. It's in the process of moving your heart, and it has more to offer. So there is more to this whole thing than what meets the eye. This experience is felt and it's asking to be shared. It is building up to a point where you are not going to be able to resist sharing it. And this resistance is going to sort of inhibit the freedom that you feel as you move along. You are bursting. You are bursting with this thing. Okay? And the more I talk about it, the more it's asking for release and room and space. It's almost like saying, make way. I need to be revealed. I want to be heard. I want to be seen. I want to get out there. This thing is very healing. This thing is very healing. And what they were saying about the beauty is in the doubt that it's causing, is that this silent disruption, it's asking for space to be able to spread itself. And so there's not actually that much you have to do for it. It's already there. The tricky part that you're looking at this as tricky is because it's different. That is all. But they're saying, look at how it's just landed on your lap. Look at that in your surrounding factors. I've got Queen of Cups and the Tower. So this is a mind-shifting, healing product. So what they're actually explaining to me is that the nature of this thing, okay, it's medicine. You have developed through you a medicine that is a product in itself. It is already a product. That's actually my alarm going off. I can't even tell you what it's for. My children had set it up, but for it to ring at this time is telling me that it's time. They're saying that it's time. So there's no right time for this. Okay? It's time already. And stay free, they're saying, because if it makes you go in a completely new direction, like for example, if you get swept off your feet, allow it. Why not? is what they're saying. Why not? Why not? And they're also saying it's also a result. Okay, so this thing has shifted you so much. It has come into your life. It came into your life without you realizing that it was going to bring something in. Okay, so you sort of intuitively could sense that this was going to happen. You just had no way of measuring the extent and the quality and what it was going to do. There were fears around it, but then you allowed it to come into your life. You took it on as a challenge, and then now it's like changed you. It's actually changed you. So they're saying that this stage that you're at is actually the process of allowing yourself to release all these things you're clutching onto to make way for the new. And so the sense I'm getting is like, it's like this process of spring cleaning, and you are sort of holding onto items where you've established that you don't really need them for now, but you're used to having them around. It's sort of reminding me of that, on the video that we titled The Holy Grail. It's reminding me of that clearing out of the drawer, the cutlery drawer, where there's some things that are, you do use them daily. Okay, so now I'm not sticking to the point of the things that are only for special occasions. I'm now looking at the items in the drawer that you use regularly. However, someone has just brought you like a gift of one utensil, like some kind of new age utensil that could replace like 10 of the things that you have in your drawer. So it's like multi-use, multi-purpose, and it's smooth and it works, and you just want to share it with everyone, but you feel a bit bad sort of just changing how you do things. And so they're saying embrace this new equipment, because that's what it is. It's not just a new tool. It's like your system has gone in for an upgrade. You are now using new software, okay, in your body, in your mind, in your heart. You are fundamentally, you have shifted as a person. And so holding back from sharing this is like holding back from sharing this new version of yourself, is what they actually want me to explain to you. And you see that in your near future. You've got the Four of Pentacles, which usually is showed as like someone clutching onto their purse, and the Five of Pentacles, which is feeling left out in the cold. You know, this self-imposed isolation, okay, when you don't need to be isolated. And so you could either be the Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, or you could be the Nine of Pentacles, where you are actually building, using what you have, not holding back. Okay. And so this near future space is actually you shifting into this new way of being, where you realize it's another layer that you're shedding of holding yourself back. The areas in your life where you get in your own way, you are going to be releasing that very gently releasing that. Okay? Because you have a lot to share through this experience. In your recent past, we have the World and the King of Pentacles, and, you know, even top of mind has this Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. You have just come through a major closure of a cycle in your life. And for some reason, I suppose this is just how the ends of cycles sometimes feel, you figured that you'd be settling in this space for a while. Okay, but they're saying, sorry, please can you look back at your history, your story, the real story, the evidence of your path. When have you really ever settled in one place for a long time? And so they're saying that this is going to change how you approach your future shifts. It feels a little bit strange doing this, but if you've heard a sort of shift in the audio, that's because I had an interruption yesterday while I was recording this. I did go through that disappointment. I went through a whole lot of things. There was just too much disruption in my environment, and I actually thought I'd lost the entire audio. But then when I woke up this morning, I went back. I tried to figure out whether it was still there, and it was still there. And I left the cards just as I had them yesterday because I knew I wasn't done. But as I've interacted with this energy, with this thread this morning, given the interruption that I experienced, given more information I've received just about it, this idea is not going anywhere. Okay? It is not going anywhere. There was also this sense that there is more than one idea. And so then now we're actually addressing how you package your medicine more than we are leaping on one opportunity. So there's more than one opportunity that you have. There is medicine in your life that is ready to be shared. It is time. Okay? And so there's something that has crept up on you recently, but there's also something that you've tucked away somewhere in the past. Okay? It's like almost done. It's pretty much done, packaged, but you haven't done anything with it. And so they're showing you how these things enter your life and how you sort of shelf them. You put them away because you're not sure how they fit in. Okay, that's what they're showing me. What they also showed me is that your environment is actually how this stuff has been created. So you are so far of the impression that these things are just ideas that you've come across. That's how you feel about it. You feel like you just came across this idea and that it healed you, and you're just not sure if it would be relevant for anyone else. Okay? And what they're actually showing me is that this stuff, this medicine, has just come through you. You have been its vessel. You are its vessel, its channel. Your environment has a need for it. You had a need for it. And so it entered through your channel because your channel was and is receptive. Okay? And you yourself, the vessel that you are receptive and we're ready for the medicine. Okay? And so that's what they want you to see, is that the audience already exists. And I don't want to just say audience in the bigger sense. The recipients are waiting for it. They have a need for it. And in a sense, what's being actually shared is that you're hoarding something that is not yours. It is actually not yours. It doesn't belong to you. Yes, you're the custodian, but you are the responsible person. This word you're the steward. This feels like this thread has been going on longer than I've even been aware, because the word steward came up in a very recent reading. So now in this channeling alone, I have mentioned 3 different videos with 3 different points. And so this is really about how you bring your medicine into the world. This is about you allowing certain structures and ideas and constraints you've placed on yourself and your channel, about how things are presented to the world. You need to release. Something else they showed me is you seem to have this idea that, okay, you have this structured way that, in your opinion, is how healing products are channeled into the world, marketed to your environment, shared. Okay, so I don't know if you are working on a book, whether you are working on, a speech, whatever it is, okay, you are in touch with that. Okay, it could even be a physical circle of people, whatever it is. You seem to have this idea that, okay, you need, let's say, an already existing captive audience, and where you already have this audience, it needs to be structured in such and such a way. So maybe you have a blue audience and this product is for yellow people. I don't know. There's a way that there are these ideas that you have, And what they're saying is, no, whatever you already have access to, okay, if we're talking about a blue space that it's not appropriate for, then fine. You already know that it's not appropriate for blue people. However, if you have a yellow space and let's say you consider that yellow space as being small and insignificant, they're saying that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. They are explaining this to me in a very weird way, but apparently you will understand that. They're saying you're wrong. Often what you consider as insignificant is significant. Very much so. And they're saying, look to the source of where this inspiration was sparked. Okay? They're also making me revisit this idea as though you have already visited this idea, and your assessment of this revisitation, like when you went to review this idea of presenting this medicine to the source, they're saying you keep like when you're playing that hot, cold game where the closer you get, and they give you clues, the closer you get, they're like hot, 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 or they're like warm, and then you get hot, 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 and you're like right at the door of hot. You're right there, and then you turn around and you walk off as though you weren't right there. They're saying that's how you're behaving with this thing. Okay? It's a very weird way of explaining it. But for me, it feels like you pretty much are almost there, but you keep thinking that it's the wrong place, it's the wrong structure, it's the wrong approach. And they're saying it's just not that complicated. It's actually not that complicated. This thing has come through you. It has its own legs. It just needs you to release it. It needs you to stop holding it back. Okay? And it's not one thing. It's not one thing, and they are trying to prepare you because more things are going to be sent through you. And so they need you to get used to just being this, what's the word? Not just vessel. They need you to get used to being this craft. They're showing me like a cruise ship. They're showing me like a cruise ship, like how it moves and docks at different like stations, and then it explores, and then soon it's on its way again, and it moves to another place, and it's it can accommodate many different things. Okay, it has all these different rooms, it can accommodate all these different things and activities, and it's dynamic. A cruise ship is not just about, some boats are made for fishing, some boats are meant for living in. You are like a cruise ship. That is so weird, okay? That is it. That I feel like is the essence of the message. I feel very grateful that I didn't lose this recording, because another sort of piece of information I received last night is that this medicine is so moving that the existing masculine structures actually do not want it to be seen, felt, and heard. And so this has caused a lot of the resistance that you're feeling. It must come into the world. It is time for it to come into the world, and for your cruise ship, your vessel, to just start getting used to this type of thoroughfare, okay? It's also like they're showing me the development of cruise ships, how maybe they were developed, how it was not the initial intention when a boat was thought of or first built that a cruise ship would be possible. And so whoever was developing this idea of a cruise ship needed to allow for this evolution of this boat and its becoming. So they're saying you need to open your mind now. You need to open your mind, because you are doing some stuff that hasn't been done, and you are delivering things in ways that are non-traditional. People don't usually share such sophisticated information in such unsophisticated ways. That's actually what they're showing me. I'm very grateful this has come across. If you're still listening, I'd like for you to really look at the things that have healed you in your life, the things that you have put on the shelf, the things that you have stuffed in your pillow. Whatever it is way more significant than you've given it credit for. And it wants to come out. And this is about to become a way of life, is what they just said to me very clearly. I'm going to leave that here. I have recorded a whole extended sort of discussion. I don't think it's very long, but I didn't want to leave it at the end of this video. For anyone who doesn't make it to that extended, I just want to say I am so appreciative of all of the support that I get from you on the channel. Okay, my experience has shifted so much in the last stretch. Please refer to the description box below for any further information and links that I've promised. Sending you all so much love.